Robbie, we talked about this a little bit yesterday. It's been a big story for the last 3 weeks or so, a couple of weeks for the Chelsea fans. But is it over now? Are we putting this to bed finally?
I am. I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I think so. I mean, you know, it became a big story. It left him out, the apologies, back in the team now. So, like, as long as he can come back in and do his thing and score some goals, I'm sure it's going to be forgotten about. I worry that if he goes for a period of 5, 6, 7, 8 games without scoring, you know, is he happy? Have they fallen out again or whatever, which could come up? But no, I've forgotten about it already. I didn't think it was that awful anyway, but, you know, that's just me. But, yeah, this is a big game for Chelsea.
I think what will be interesting going forward is this is a must-win game first and foremost for Chelsea. They've spent so much money on Lukaku, they have to build a team around him. As of yet, they've not done that. Whoever's been playing in the centre-forward position is being asked to near enough play as a false number 9. That's not Lukaku's position. The League Cup this evening, they played against Tottenham. You know, it was more of a 4-2-2-2. He was now partnered again up front with Timo Werner. But once again, he's been asked to play that more defined drop-in role so Timo Werner can stretch the game. So I understand Lukaku's frustrations. I don't think, obviously, he went about it the right way. But now, you know, from Tuchel's perspective, he's got to look at his top signing and say, right, how do I get the best out of him? And that, for me, is when you look at Lukaku, stretching the game, running at defenders, not dropping deep and having 3 or 4 players ahead of you. Even if he emerges as that star, as the guy, the go-to guy that he needs to be for Chelsea, can they catch Manchester City? 10 points is the deficit right now.
If they lose, they're out of the title race for sure. Yeah. If they win, 7 points behind, still difficult. But I mean, if they're going to win the Premier League title, they've got to win this game. You know, and that's going to be difficult, given Man City have had the whole week, I believe, to rest up for this game. No midweek game for them. Now, we are hearing last few days there's been some kind of COVID outbreak within the Man City playing staff and the technical staff. So we'll see how that manifests itself. But yeah, I mean, the way that City are playing right now, Chelsea have got to be maximum flat out and find a way somehow to win at the home of the champions.
And Manchester City, what I love about Manchester City and what sets them apart to a certain extent, I think we've seen a familiar pattern start to form when we get to, you know, autumn, winter time, when the games start to come thick and fast. Guardiola, through his coaching methods, he's got players that can play multiple positions. So he doesn't necessarily have to rely on a core 7 or 8 players or 9 players. He's got players who can play as a false 9, who can play left midfield, who can play central midfield. So he's able to keep his players refreshed all the time because they have the ability to play in different positions. And that's something that the intelligence of his players and also the intelligence of himself when he's bringing new coaching staff.
I think the hope for Chelsea and Lukaku, by the way, is that they will be playing on the counter-attack. And Lukaku is better when he's running behind. So he'll pull to the outside and make those runs in behind Manchester City. That is their Achilles heel a little bit, Man City, getting caught on a counter-attack when they're so high. Of course, they have the ball so well, but if there's a quick turnover, Lukaku makes his runs in behind, and that's what he's best at. And that's what he's talking about when it's not, they don't really play my way, because it's so different, because Chelsea's build-up is slower. They roll balls into Lukaku, which I think he's great at, but he'd rather make those runs to face forward and run in behind.
That's what you are holding on to. But then if you rewind the clock and you look at Manchester City when they went to Chelsea and beat them 1-0, Diaz had Lukaku in his pocket. He was incredible. But like you quite rightly say, I think if Chelsea can turn defence into attack quickly, that's when it can cause problems.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings every weekend at 7 a.m. Eastern. And for even more content, head over to Peacock, where we've got live games, original series and a dedicated round-the-clock Premier League channel featuring studio shows, classic matches and much more.